As someone who practices yoga frequently and have achieved a certain level of advancement in the yoga world, have you ever used your yoga skills in sex? I mean, what is considered a yoga skill?
A headstand.
A headstand. No comment. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, flexibility comes into flexibility and core strength come into.
You laughing
if that's
at yourself
what you mean. Did Mel ask this question?
No, I don't know.
Welcome back to another episode of Asian Boss Girl. This is a part 2 episode where we are going to be answering questions that we secretly wrote to each other. We each have a bowl for each girl, and then we, in secret, wrote questions to each other, and then we put the questions in the bowl, so you don't know who asked you the question, and we're going to have to take turns answering it.
Yeah, It's pretty much anonymous.
Yeah.
It's anonymous,
If you didn't watch the first part, you can go back and watch that first and then come back here. So let's get started. Should we start with an ABG one or
Sure, let's do ABG.
Okay.
Dude, this is making me hungry. Look at a bowl. Sorry.
What's for lunch?
What do you wish was in the bowl?
A beef noodle soup.
Beef
Wow,
noodle
that was a really
soup.
fast
Yeah.
response.
I knew what I wanted.
Okay, this looks like a cereal bowl.
That's
to
what
me.
I was thinking, like cereal or like a nice like yogurt parfait.
That's hella huge bowl for parfait. Sorry.
I was thinking this is a small bowl for beef noodle soup.
That's true.
Sample size. Okay. All right, first question. Which task or responsibility or aspect of what you do for ABG do you enjoy the most?
Oh. I thought it'd be a different question.
Oh, what do
You wanna
think
go
it was gonna
first?
be?
I don't know. It's a harder one. Just kidding.
Like that you hate the most?
Or like, I don't know, it's something I need to work on. I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh, okay. Enjoy.
I'll go first. The first thing that comes to my mind is ideation. I think when we sit down and like set time to like really think of new ideas for the podcast or just think of ideas in general, it's really fun to bounce ideas off each other, to pull like nothing out of something, something out of nothing, not nothing out of something. Wow. That's the opposite of ideation.
I would agree with that. I think also for me, ideation is a big part of it and also just like executing. So when I read that question, I was thinking it kind of meant more like on your day-to-day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't
That makes sense.
know.
I don't know about.
I'm like, I don't know.
Do you like
if
the
I
day-to-day?
have- I don't know if I have an answer for the day-to-day, but when you said the overall ideation and seeing us execute on the things that we say we will, that is something that also really excites me. And seeing the numbers and seeing that we're actually, making headway on the things that we say we will. I think daily working with you two is a huge just blessing compared to where I was before in a more corporate setting. Because that is, I would say daily, that's probably the most exciting thing where I get to work with my best friends. I think if we were to have work together in a corporate environment, like you two would be my work besties or my work
Oh,
wifey.
yeah. I didn't think about that before.
So it's like the fact that
Same
we
office.
can work with each other without someone who's like a boss of us, that we can unite against, against. It feels like we're just doing it all together instead, and it's a nice reality. Yeah,
It's fun to think about ABG office if we were all coworkers.
Oh, yeah.
we would definitely be work besties.
Yeah. Let me see. I would say the same thing as you ladies, but I was thinking of this question more like literally, like what are the different tasks that we do as a part of ABG? And because, we have a team, but it's mostly the three of us that are constant through the many years we've been together. And because we've tried so many different things, we've done a lot of different stuff. But I think I do still like the sitting down and whether it's like recording or filming, when you feel like it's just, you almost forget that the camera's there or that the mic is there. Those are my favorite moments when we're just like chatting and hanging out.
Do you feel that right now?
I feel a little bit of the presence of the mic in the camera, but give me I think when we're like about 10 minutes to 15 minutes into the episode, then I kind of just sometimes
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
But that's what, that's when you hear our mics go out in and out because we're not aware
That's
of
true.
it
We're not
anymore.
aware that I need to be in the proper place for sound.
shit.
Yeah.
And then we see the comments, we're like, oh, the mic volume. We get it. We just get so lost in the conversation,
Yeah. But yeah, I think that, and then I do like reading our ads and writing the ads. I think it's fun to kind of pretend to be a radio person.
She does a very good job at it too.
I agree.
It's the one thing that I feel like I'm like, okay, if I have a bad day, Well, actually, that's not always true. When you have a bad day, sometimes the things that
when you have a bad day, you want to write ads.
I was like, wow.
No,
you
when
take my ads.
I have a bad day, I feel like the ads take me forever to get through. Usually it's like something that you're like, for Mel, your strong point's like ideation, right? Like it takes me a long time to ideate. I find that I enjoy it when I have proper time to like prep, and then we go in the meeting, then I feel good about it. But usually if you're on the spot to be like, Jen, let's come up with this idea. Usually I'm like, like I need more time, right? But for me, the thing that usually comes easier is like the ads and like the ad writing and the ad reading. But on off days, sometimes you're like, why is this taking me like 10 times as long as, it should?
Yeah.
But
well, thanks for reading our ads, and thanks everyone watching for supporting and listening.
Thanks for listening to them.
And not skipping the ads.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it matters or not, but
I don't know. We appreciate it regardless.
We do appreciate it.
Yeah. There's time and energy put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Next cue. Let's start. I think we started this way. Should we start this way?
Yeah.
With Mel. Mel, you're
She's
missing a
closing her
nail.
eyes.
With your nails.
It's the middle finger. What happened?
I was like, getting ready for the shoot, lifting couches. I didn't lift. I lift one couch, but it totally like. But anyways,
no.
Did it hurt? Because
no,
sometimes
I'm gonna do like this now. This is really weird.
Is that a game?
I don't know. Okay, I'll go first. Why am I nervous?
Ooh, we don't know whose question this was from, me or Janet.
Okay, I see a word already.
Oh,
I see what. Okay.
You fantasize about your wedding so much. What are the top 3 things you think you'll care most about when it comes to your wedding? Ooh,
that's a good question.
Like, oh, good question. Okay. I think I care about venue because I think the venue sets the tone for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, I do believe that a good venue, you might not have to fill it with things as much. You know what I mean? Like I want to I want a solid base. So that's one is venue. I should add like I want us. Okay, I'm not thinking about the logistics. Like I want the little details, but I could be like I want us to be happy. But
okay.
do you want me to talk about that stuff or like?
Let's just assume that we will be happy.
Because it's kind of like you know me.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know. What do you mean?
You're gonna assume that if you're getting married, you're happy.
You're gonna be happy.
Or kind of like, because for example, I could say like, what I care about the most is like just having a good time. Like that's like kind of like,
that makes sense.
Because I've heard a lot of brides like they actually didn't like they love the idea of their wedding. They love that their guests enjoyed it, but maybe they didn't really love the day themselves.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm gonna anticipate. I know that, so it's like don't want to waste that answer on that.
Okay, give another one then.
Like more like details.
Sure.
Okay, venue's one. Is it weird to say vibe? No. Okay. I think I really care about flow. Like flow of the day. Because it sometimes you've been in weddings where it's like sometimes one section could take so long. Everyone's just like they want to go on the dance floor. They want to like so I pay attention a lot to like run of show.
So like the schedule, like the time.
It does.
How long we do this thing and then at what time move on to the next thing. And
because I'm sorry. Like I love my friends. Whoever gets assigned a speech, I'm not letting you go for 20 minutes. Like it's just not going to happen. Because you sat through those before. You're like.
What's the max time for speeches?
I thought originally like 3 minutes. But after going through it myself, maybe 5.
3 is so short.
It is short, yeah.
Maybe 5 to 7.
Yeah.
But
how long was your speech? 5, right?
We went to 7. The 2 of us went to 7.
Wait, did we really?
Oh, I guess there's 2 of you though. This is for my wedding. Yes.
Yeah.
We went to 7. That's why I was like, oh, there's no way.
That's true. We were supposed to keep it to 5, and then we were like, okay, is this gonna sound okay? How fast can I talk? Can I do? Like, do you understand?
Oh wow. Okay.
And I remember actually, I was talking to Janet. I was like, oh shoot, we're going over. Should we just tell Helen? And we're like, screw it, you want us? We'll just say what we can.
Yeah.
We try to cut as much as we could.
Yeah.
So
but you also want to make it meaningful, so it's like it's a balance.
Yeah.
So I think just like run of show. I also think about like the sentimental moments. Like when I drive in my car, there's already songs that I am already listing of things that like make me cry. So I think about like how can I have these moments like walking down the aisle or like my first dance or like just feeling the feelings of the day. Like I think about that a lot. Especially as someone that's been dreaming about this since I was 10. I'm just like, it's just kind of, I do get emotional just playing random songs.
Yeah.
But I also want to mentally note that like I don't want to like, just because I've been thinking about this for
overhype it so much.
Exactly.
Yeah. That like the day of you're expecting it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the right balance. So yeah, this is a great question.
Oh, I love your answers. I love how it's not like I need plates or I need certain florals or something. It's more about like the feeling that you're going to have.
Yeah.
Whether it's a flow, the venue that provides it, or just, the sentimental stuff.
Oh, yeah. I would love to throw wedding questions to you, but I guess I'll ask you afterwards.
Ask me one.
What do you think What's a standout thing from your wedding that you're like, this is what I remember? I know it's hard, like, what's this what I remember the most?
Only one.
Ooh.
Yeah. First thing that comes to mind.
I think vibe.
Yeah.
I think the vibes were
Immaculate.
immaculate.
That's a word I'm starting learning to
Immaculate.
use.
Vibes were immaculate. And I could see, I'm like obviously like kind of
Picturing.
yeah, like, or like relate back to like what you want for your wedding and like, did I fulfill that? And I think there is something with the flow that is very important too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the flow worked out really well. But it just, it takes the planning ahead of time to get that flow. But it's also making sure you're not so in those moments of planning and you can kind of step back to enjoy it. That
to
was
feel the emotions.
That's I could because I remember at the beginning of the day, I was just like, there's so many things. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. I was like, once I'm in makeup, I'm gonna forget about all this and not be so like bridezilla-y. But it's just you got to get out of that mindset of bridezilla mode and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that only then will I think you feel the emotions of the day that you want to. Yeah.
So I think it's good to like be able to be part of your wedding party to kind of like see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we like the vibes. So I feel like seeing how you went about your day was like, okay, good reminder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay. Oh, my turn. Okay. Oops. Was this the old one? Are we throwing it on the floor?
Yeah.
We are picking it up though afterwards.
Okay. Do you feel like you've found some solid mommy or parent friends?
Ooh.
Good question. I've been thinking about this a lot. There was this article that I read from The Cut that was talking about moms feeling like they can only make mommy friends because like their child-free friends don't understand it or don't understand what motherhood is like and can't really support them. So I remember when I first was even pregnant, I had thought to myself, I can only have mommy friends from now on. I legitimately thought this to myself, especially because there was a point in time where I was really pregnant and then one of our friends stopped inviting me out to things. We all know who. but then I had this like long conversation with him or her and it kind of like fixed that issue or that problem from becoming a thing. And I'm very glad I did do that because I think if I hadn't, I would just have internalized it and just been like, oh, I just am not part of this friend group anymore, but like I really care about my friends. So I think that was a very intentional thing to have done back then that kind of trickled into where we are now with our friends. To answer the question, I think I have found very good mommy friends and I don't have a lot, I will say, because I think I still very much prioritize like my own group of friends now. It's more like the friends who were moms and were my friends, we are closer now.
Yeah,
We are much
extra thing
closer
to
now.
bond over or like they're stronger. Yeah, them.
Yeah, and I've noticed that like mom friends will just do things, for you without asking because they kind of just know. And that's like a nice
really
thing,
sweet.
but then that's also not an expectation that I have on any of like my non-mom friends either, So, and then even having like my sister close by, she's been incredibly valuable in all of this. So I think I have found very good, solid mommy parent friends. And we do a lot of like play dates with people as well. So whether or not those play dates go further in terms of like, we're always seeing each other every Friday because we were just moms or parents. I don't think that's really happened. If anything, it's like I bring like you two into my world of let's watch my child. And I think you both enjoy it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think you found a really good balance.
Yeah. I think so too. I feel good with like where I am in terms of friends and support. So
Good.
That's nice.
yeah.
Okay. That's a really good spiral. Anyways.
All right. Oh no, it's one of those like leaf thingies that helicopter down. Yeah.
Yeah. As someone who is more introverted relative to Mel and Helen, what can you say for other introverts out there is a strength of your character and a weakness? Oh, I like this question.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a
These
great
are
question.
great questions.
Ooh, a strength and a weakness. I would say a strength of introverts generally is that you tend to pick up on things or observe extra details that other people who may be more interacting and focused on the present moment do not. So when you are not as, I'm thinking introversion as like assuming that when you're out at like say public events or social gatherings, if you're not so much like interacting and being in the present moment with people, sometimes you are more like, you feel like you're on the sidelines watching people. And you will pick up on observations of certain dynamics, even like body language, or you'll remember a series of events a little bit more clearly. And I think that can be, I mean, that can be a strength, right? A weakness, I would say, is that kind of along the lines of what you
but I want to make sure are you talking about in general for introverts or for yourself?
I think in general for introverts, because the thing that I would say is like, as an extroverted person, as a scenario, if you went to an event, generally you are getting your energy from people, right? So if you're like interacting with a person, you're not necessarily focusing on the rest of the room, or you could, I mean, you are, everyone is always, right? But if you are a more introverted person and you tend to get more, maybe you like kind of being in the corner.
Yeah.
And either you're only talking to one person or you're not really talking to anyone. You're just kind of like chilling and observing things. It just means that you're generally picking up on things a little bit more, right?
That makes sense.
So that would be, and I think that is, that's like one strength. Maybe a weakness is that I think it can be perceived by a lot of people as like, that you're uncomfortable, or that like, oh, it's like, why are you sitting in the corner? But oftentimes for introverts, like, this is like, I'm good. I'm chill and I like to be here. I like to kind of observe. I don't feel out of place. If you feel weird that I'm out, like, sometimes it's like other people who are feeling uncomfortable.
That's true.
So I would say that is like, the strength is that you could potentially perceive more and pick up in the moment when you're not as like involved in the interactions of the present moment. And then a potential weakness is it could be observed as like like people might think you're uncomfortable even if you're not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I can go deeper if you guys want to.
What percentage would you say you are more introverted versus extroverted?
Ooh, that is a good question too, because I think we talk about this a lot, how it's like, you know, it's a spectrum, and like I'm an introverted person, but I definitely I love conversation, and I don't talk to myself like that. I mean, I guess but the whole point of conversation of why I like it, because it's like another person that you're like dialoguing with, and so I would say probably I might be like, I would say like maybe 65 to 70% introverted, and then a good like 30 to 40% extroverted. I definitely need the energy from other people. There are a lot of times when like going out or like being around people will energize me.
I can see that.
I can see that too. Okay. Any other introverts out there? If you agree with what Janet said, let us know.
Yeah. What's a good introvert icon?
Oh,
maybe like this emoji.
Oh, yeah.
Leave that emoji in the comments if you relate. I was thinking that too, like either the or the peeking through the hands.
I like the peeking one. The peeking
makes more
very
sense.
cute.
Because you're more observing.
Oh, that's true. You're observing.
But then you can't really observe behind your hands. What?
You're like hiding, but then you're looking. You're watching.
Okay. All right. An ABG one. Yes. Okay. Dong dong. You want to pick one? There's literally ongle two left.
I just heard dongle dong.
Dongle dong. The sound effects.
Here we go. ABG.
Oh.
Let's say ABG were to grow. Who would you assign to be CEO? There can only be one. I wonder who asked this question. So creative.
I don't know. Whoever asked the question, what's the answer?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
What do you think? Okay, I will say that I have always viewed us as very equal, right?
Okay.
Like very a third. And
third.
Yes. And if we had to pick certain roles, it would be Mel would be CMO, I would be CFO, and Jay would be COO, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Marketing Officer.
Actually, I've thought about it that way before too.
Yeah. And that's where I don't know if I have an answer for that. The CEO.
Okay.
Because I think if any one of us, and maybe this is where it's like, how do you define CEO? What do they do? I think they set the vision for the company, the strategy, overview, like financial health of the company / also make final decisions. So for that, I feel like all of us play that role. And that's where I'm like, I can, it'd be pretty equal.
I also heard recently on an episode where they're saying the evolution of companies, because of like social media and public relations and stuff, that the CEO is more and more going to turn into a role that needs to be like very aware of marketing too. So CMO and CEO. So I think it kind of depends on the state of the world we're in. And then also, maybe the industry or the company, what are the CEO's tasks and strengths and stuff like that might differ.
Yeah.
Right?
I have a very different answer. I will name a person. When I think of CEO, I also was talking to like my other friends who are founders and CEOs. Sorry. I think a CEO.
Your mint still in your mouth?
Yeah,
wow.
Damn.
It's a long time.
Sorry. I was trying to hide it.
We all had a mint before we started filming, and Helen and I finished ours like way before we started this episode. And
I like to what's it called? Babysit my stuff.
Oh,
Wait, was that
nurse. You like to nurse. Like the way that you nurse a drink.
Like you babysit a drink.
Babysit or nurse. Yeah. You take your time with
I do.
it.
They drink their coffee like within an hour. I drink my
true.
coffee for 2 days.
I think we go a little quicker than usual, and then you go a little bit slower.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the CEO question. Okay, so yeah, talking to my friends, I feel like I think the reality of being a CEO, it's you have to be aware of almost every department and be pretty damn good at like just almost every little thing. And it's a tough job. And to be honest, I have to say right now, I don't think I want to be CEO. As much as I see the three of us as equals, like, yeah, what you said, the CEO, CFO, COO, CFO, CMO, I understand that breakdown, but there still needs to be a CEO in some companies, right? One overlooking every department and you report to your CEO. If I had to choose someone between the three of us, I would actually choose Helen because I think maybe because your financial background, it's like a financial health thing. Like I'm thinking like maybe like a more conservative company. Like I trust her financial background. I'm just like, I don't know if your finance is as strong as hers.
Hers is pretty good. Candace is pretty strong.
I think it's a different, once again, depending on the size of the company and all that kind of stuff, the financial health is a little bit, it could differ based on,
Like the margin stuff, when she talks about margins, I just like lose, I lose it and I'm like, what? But I also think just Helen, I noticed you're always like thinking about like, oh, our future and like our like strategy and all this stuff. And I feel for me, I'm just like, oh, like I'm not thinking as much. Like I feel like she's pretty like well-rounded with everything. I can see, not saying we're both not, but I don't know. I just feel like that's what I just
Thank you. Okay. I appreciate that.
It's mostly the finance stuff. I don't know anything.
I think if we have to cross that bridge, we can consider what the actual roles of a CEO would be, and then we can see who would fulfill that the best. But yeah.
I don't want
Jan and I have different answers, but
sorry, I wanted to give like my honest answer.
Or Mel and you have different answers.
Yeah.
I think my answer was going to be between the both of yours. So I have thought about this, like what are our natural kind of like strengths that we fall into? And I think that when we started and just generally maybe because of our backgrounds, marketing, finance, and then operations or more like daily kind of things. But I think that if we had to choose a CEO, and I don't actually agree that that is the only model that works. I think
I agree
for ours, like, but if we had to, I would also choose Helen. And it's not just the skill set. I think it's also a personality thing and personality for our specific line of work. Because I think you have, you have opinions and you have like, whatchamacallit. There's like a
execution.
Right? No, not execution.
Oh, okay.
I think because the CEO is not the person that executes.
That's just true. They oversee.
I think it's more about having an opinion and getting people to get on board with you. So it's a level of, and that of course is going to depend on your COO or your C group of people.
Yes,
right.
C-suite.
Yeah,
I agree.
Thanks, guys. I am humbled. We will see when we get there.
But I do want to say I agree. Like I was trying to answer this question specifically but I agree with Jan. There's no right way of doing how you run your company. Like we could do that CEO model, but we can't. But it just depends on where we end up being at. And like I don't know how many years from now. But to answer the question, that's why I get my answer.
Okay. Well, yeah. I will sit here quietly.
Helen goes, I reject this
notion of this.
Veto. I think we would have to see what the actual roles and responsibilities are and then see who can actually fulfill those to the best of their abilities.
And who would want to, too.
And who would want to.
That's the thing, we could go on about this topic.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ooh, I see the word date and yourself. If you could date yourself.
I like where this question is going.
If you could date yourself, list the top 5 reasons why you would date yourself.
Dang.
Wow. Someone said date yourself a couple times. Wait, list the top 5 reasons why you would date yourself? Like me? This is like an exercise. It's like gratitude. Or no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
One, I think I'm pretty silly and having fun. Like I think I'll make if you date me, I'll keep it fun.
No.
Like when Ray would visit, when Ray comes over, sometimes I'll hide in my room so he doesn't know where I am.
Aw, and you surprise him?
But he'll be like, I heard you shuffling behind your door. So I just do like little stupid things like
in her robe.
Yeah. To keep it playful, I feel like it's nice to like keep it fun.
I like that. And I would agree with that.
2, I'm a great cook. So I love cooking for my partners, my friends, just to feel like that's my way of showing love. So you'll be well nourished if you're with me, Why am I on a date? I feel like I'm on a dating show pitching myself.
Mel, you're on The Bachelor. Go. This is your chance.
Oh my God. Okay. The third one is I feel like I have a really great family. So I think whoever ends up dating me, hi Ray, my family is pretty warm, pretty easy to be around. And the funny thing is whenever I'm with my family and we're just like all lively and having a good time, I always think like this is one of my greatest assets. It's my family.
Yeah.
Because they're just fun and like it's a good vibe. Fourth.
Your ass? Is that what you're gonna say?
No, that's a good one. That's it.
I didn't think it. No.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that wasn't your first answer.
Sometimes I do a little with myself. You know that one? You know when Rihanna did her like Super Bowl halftime?
Oh, yeah.
She does a little. She does a. I can't do it. Like, I was like, I do that to myself in the mirror. I guess I'll get that for fourth. Fifth, I think I'm pretty. This is hard. I want to say it this way. There's things I need to work on within this realm. I think my sensitivity and empathy can be a strength when I'm not too sensitive. That I feel like I feel for people. Like when someone's crying, I end up crying too. So I'll try to I think that's a strength.
Yeah.
I think that's it for now. I don't know. It's weird. I never thought about this in a very long time.
Yeah.
Is these the answers you expected?
I kind of want to take the ass one away to see what your number 5 would be.
Oh my God. I don't know why I can't think of another one. I think that's a silly thing for me. It's like another reason to keep it fun. Oh, okay. Ray says this. He says I'm really thoughtful when it comes to like people around me and considerate. Like with this family, I'll make sure to think about his mom or think about other things to make sure they feel like they're loved by me and are thought about in a way. So I try to remember these little like minute details. Like, for example, I know Helen's dad likes to drink a certain Hennessy bottle. Like if I were to see him, I know he'll like to drink this. Or like if your dad likes to eat certain foods. Like I try to memorize these little things so that way it's like just to make them feel like they're thought about on a different level. So I try to think of it that way. So I think that's maybe something I would say.
Yeah.
That is
Great
thoughtful.
answers.
Yeah.
I feel like that's actually a very hard exercise. So good job.
That is.
I was like, let me just talk about myself. I was like, oh, okay. Thanks for the question.
Yeah. We have reached the last month of the year. The decorations are up, small twinkle lights are lighting up the streets. The magic of the holiday season is upon us. As a mom whose baby boy is still in his diapers, the last thing I want to deal with during a family or friend gathering is being holed up in the bathroom, needing to undress my toddler in the chill of winter and dealing with a blowout. Literally the last thing I'd want to be dealing with during the holidays. If you are a parent out there with a baby who's still in his or her diapers, with Pampers Swaddlers, you can rest assured that this diaper will prevent up to 100% of leaks, even blowouts. 100%. This diaper has a blowout barrier, which is an innovative back pocket built into the diaper to help prevent those messy leaks. Pampers Swaddlers are dermatologist approved by Skin Health Alliance, hypoallergenic, and free of parabens and latex. They are available in sizes newborn through size 8. My baby loves the new characters on the diaper, Shiloh the elephant and Freddie the duck. So cute. For trusted protection, trust Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended brand. All right, so next question. It's a very short one. Why do feet gross you out so much? Who asked this? You definitely asked this.
You don't know.
Why do feet gross you out so much? Does there need to be an answer? I mean, I feel like that's like the sweatiest and grossest part of a human.
That's not true.
Really? What about like an armpit?
What about other parts?
Other parts.
That are covered
It's
with
interesting that
food.
you said sweaty. So
It's not just sweat. It's just the movement. I don't know. I'm trying to. I've never.
When
thought
did
about
this fear, like, this disgust, start from?
That's a good question.
Since you're young?
Probably not since I was young, but the only moment that I can sort of come back to is when we had in freshman year in our dorm room. You know how people would always come over to your dorm and just hang out?
Yeah.
There was always this one guy that would come over to my dorm and he would jump into our bed.
Ew.
And then he would just like take off his shoes and his socks and just kind of like hang out there.
Oh,
Take off his socks?
I mean, or if it was summertime, like taking off your sandals, right? And then I just remember seeing like it's kind of crusty. It was kind of very hairy. And I was just like,
Did he have like dirt underneath his toenails?
I didn't see that, but that's where I was just like, oh.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a very, I can see where the foot disgust comes from.
Question.
That was like a question to figure out. Yeah, why are you so
what's the origin story of this disgust? You know?
Yeah. I'm sure it goes further back than that, but like even for my own like feet, it's just not a pretty thing.
You don't like your own feet?
No, I do not like my own feet. It's in a boot right now for a reason.
They
have nice feet.
Thank you. I know. You tell me that. Thank you. You say I have long toes.
I feel like your baby has your feet.
I love his feet. I love his feet.
Wait, do you like Phil's feet?
His feet are fine. But like
they're fine.
But there's something about like when it's on me, like sometimes when we're sitting on a couch and he puts his foot on me, I get this like visceral reaction of just like, whoa, like get off me.
Interesting.
And then he'll like, because his are not like calloused or gross. It's like, it's actually a very good foot.
But it still grosses you out.
But it still grosses me out for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Wait, I have a random
maybe it's like little things that are like, you know.
But your fingers is okay.
I know. I don't know.
Wait. Okay, what's worse? A crusty foot or a sweaty foot?
Oh, that's a good question. Answer in the comments below. I think I know. Oof.
Probably a crusty foot. Because at least sweaty foot, you can't see the sweat.
You can smell it.
Oh, that's true. It smells.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can like smell a foot right now.
Yeah. My friend, I will never say her name. She has the worst smelling feet ever. She will literally ever in high school, she'll take off her shoes. The whole living room would smell.
Oh no. Do they know this?
Oh yeah.
Gross. Okay. I was like, does no one tell her? Because you know, sometimes you can't smell yourself.
She knew. Everyone was like, oh shit.
Oh no.
If my feet ever smell, you guys would tell me, right?
Your feet never smell.
Okay. But you would tell me.
Yeah.
So if your friend has a smelly,
I would tell you.
Yeah, tell them. Because they might not know.
I think I never smelled, sometimes like BO. I would say something too.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks
yeah.
That's true.
I think I've said that before.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, it's true.
But then usually they acknowledge it first. That they are sweating.
They call it out.
Yeah, they call it out first to like give a warning.
I have a question.
Safety. Yeah.
About this feet origin.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with this feet person?
No.
I was like, do we know this person?
Yeah, that's true.
You don't.
Okay.
Yeah, someone in college. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of feet. It just except for baby feet. I love baby feet. I will kiss. I lick my baby's like toes after like the shower.
Okay.
And now he like puts his foot on my face so I can lick it. But I'm like, I don't want this to be like a weird thing that he
takes into like
takes into his future of like adulthood.
He's a foot fetish.
Yeah. So I try not to, but I'm like, they're so cute.
No, I know other moms that are like that too. Yeah, they smell
cute.
the feet and they kiss the feet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So now I've just seen this crusty feet.
No.
Wait, do you like feet?
No.
I don't. Yeah.
I think I'm okay with feet,
but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not grossed out by them.
But you know what?
But I don't like love them.
What? Armpit?
No. With feet, what I get really grossed out is when anyone has like really long toenails. That really, I think that is really disgusting.
That grosses me out with hands for guys, and then for feet.
Feet is like even worse.
I don't know that I've
seen.
I'm not usually looking at.
I'm just like, what? I was like, what is the claw on your?
What if? And then they accidentally like slide up on you, and
I just look at their feet and be like, ugh. Anyways, we talk about feet. Anyways,
have you? Never mind.
just ask it. What is it?
Have you ever sucked a toe?
I would never suck a toe.
No,
I joke around. No, because
you joke around.
I see Ray's toe. I was like, that's a big toe. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can fit that in my mouth. So I would say no. I would not suck a toe.
Okay.
I'm just like, damn, it's a huge toe.
And now I'm curious about Ray's toe.
He's a climber. He has good grip on his feet.
Oh my God, I'm gonna look next time.
He's always.
Does he wear like the toe sock shoes?
No.
You know what I mean? The ones that like fit around your.
No, his climbing shoes
for trail runs.
No, no.
Okay.
Definitely not.
It's like a glove.
His toe isn't abnormally big. I'm just saying, compared to me, it's a big toe. Anyway, enough about toes.
Anyway, all right. A random ass question we spent way too much time on.
My question. As someone who practices yoga frequently and have achieved a certain level of advancement in the yoga world, have you ever used your yoga skills in sex? I mean, what is considered a yoga skill?
A headstand.
A headstand. No comment. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, flexibility comes into flexibility and core strength come into.
Are you laughing at yourself right now?
Did Mel ask this question?
No, I don't know. Sorry, I was going to talking.
Wait, what did you say that she's laughing at something she said, right?
She said a headstand.
Oh, a headstand.
I
Yeah.
realized that's really hard to do with sex. How do you anyways?
Wait, to do a headstand?
I'm trying to picture you having sex with a headstand or like doing a headstand and having sex. Anyways, continue. What would you say?
I would say the flexibility and the core strength come into
Core strength. How does the core strength come into play?
Oh,
Do tell. Do tell.
You want to share your?
I don't know. I don't have core strength.
Wait, but you said, oh, I see.
Maybe when
It's like when you're lacking in the core strength, then you're like, oh, I should do more yoga.
or like when you're being held up, you need to have some core strength to not
to
fall
hold your body
over.
up. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Janet, why don't you
explain?
Share with us.
When you need core strength,
Okay. If you're thrusting,
you're thrusting someone. Sorry.
if you're, like movement of the body, like it comes from core strength.
I thought they were hip strength.
Your hips are, but it's like like I feel like it's like better if you have sensations are better and you can control the motion of the ocean if you have core strength. Right? No?
I picture you doing something really dirty.
But I would say, the biggest thing is just flexibility helps a lot. Like that.
Because you don't cramp, right?
Cramp? Oh. I guess I never imagined cramping during sex, but I would.
Really? I got some leg cramps sometimes.
Oh.
I was like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, it's just easier. Like the more flexible you are, especially with the lower body, like the easier you can like lift things or like be in different positions.
Wait, lower body? Okay.
Yeah. Like in it's easier to imagine if you can do like a split or you can hold your legs up, your knees up, you can, Am I taking this too seriously? I don't know.
I'm just letting y'all like go at it.
We gotta like run through some positions after this to see what you're talking about. Okay, the leg up, I get that.
Leg up, yeah.
That's when I cramp. Just kidding, not that. Anyways, we're done talking about this. This wasn't my question. Sorry, I took over.
Next question.
I have gotten toe cramps before.
Toe cramps?
Toe cramps?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Are you pointing your toes?
I think you're probably flexing.
Yeah.
No, you're flexing.
No, you're pointing. Because if you're flexing, it doesn't cramp.
Wait, flexing looks weird. What are you doing? Okay, anyways. Okay.
You're pointing. I can see that.
It's just unnecessary information that I did not need to divulge. Okay.
Welcome to my world.
My relationship with Ray started off with a bit of friendly competition and games. And even though now we like to lounge at home, we're always looking for new ways to add a bit of fun to our relationship with different activities. With that, have you heard of mystery puzzles by Odd Pieces? It is way cooler than regular puzzles. Besides the incredible artwork, each puzzle has its own unique storyline. And what happens next is my favorite part. So as you build out the puzzle, you'll find out that the image is a bit different than the box. The more you piece it together, the more you'll find out what happens in the story. It's like clues are slowly being revealed. And at the end of the puzzle, there's a plot twist and a surprise ending, but I won't spoil it for you just yet. I'm not typically into puzzles, but the storyline and the mystery component just makes it so engaging. Trust me, this isn't your typical puzzle experience. Go to oddpieces.com/ABG and pop in code ABG to score 15% off your Odd Pieces puzzle. This holiday, swap the ordinary for something different. Hop onto oddpieces.com/ABG now and get your puzzling adventure started today.
What is a skill or something you can work on for ABG?
Oh, one thing I feel like I am not as strong as you two. Just overall, like knowledge on finances and like just anything that requires. I don't think I'm bad with money. Just like the terminology and stuff you guys use, like margin.
Margin's a pretty important one to know. I think you actually know what margin is. You just, if we explained it to you, you would know. But maybe you don't know the word.
Whenever we talk about taxes, I'm lost. So I think like money and like that stuff, I feel like I could be more savvy with. That's the thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
But I think because we cover that, you don't need to. You don't.
I
need
feel
to
this
know.
like sense of I should know.
Yeah. Well,
some basic. Yeah.
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 Then you can ask.
I think it's a good.
I tried Google. I took notes, but then I forget it. I literally have a page of notes like this is a escort LLC. And anyway, that's my answer.
Janet.
I would say for me, I would love to sharpen my social media skills. And I've shared this with the ladies and they're very helpful. They've been trying to like be supportive and give me tips. Cause I think of the three of us, like social media for me is the least like natural. And I like love podcasting a lot, right? And that was kind of the thing that I was drawn to. And social media has been something that I'm like I know it plays such a big role in what we do, but it's something that I've like emphasized a little less personally. And I want to put more effort into getting like more comfortable and getting better at it. So yeah, I appreciate you ladies helping. And then if anyone out there has like, I don't know, it's like if you have a reel that you want me to try to make or something like that, like give me some tips or send some out. And then what's another good ask to?
I think that's a good one for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you've been working on it like a lot and like putting yourself out there. So I think you're working on it for sure.
Yes, I am. If you have any tips, if you have things you want me to create, if people want to collab on things, I don't know, like hit me up.
Dang, that's an open invite.
That is.
I think for me, the one thing that I can that's going to be more like broad, but I think it's pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. That's probably the one thing that I think about for ABG where I'm like, I could do this. I should do this more. Because I think back in my corporate job, you have more of a structure. So you kind of know exactly what you're going to be doing the following year or whatever. And I've always been the type of person to work within my comfort zone, but also push the boundaries just enough to get like maybe an early promotion or just enough to whatever, but not to the point where it's like I'm overexhausting myself unnecessarily. Like I work within comfort. And then I remember when I was in my corporate job thinking to myself, oh my gosh, if this was like a sales-based commission job, I would kill it just because of how much work I'm putting into this. And now we're kind of in that role where like as much as we push is how much we're going to get back.
There's no ceiling.
Exactly. And I will say it is harder than you would think. So I thought that this kind of world would be much easier for me. But I'm recognizing that there's a lot of insecurities or imposter syndrome, walls, whatever it is, that I think I need to like push a little bit harder just as an entrepreneur to get to the next level. So that would be my answer for how to, what I could work on for ABG.
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing that we can support you on is to help like, hey, you got this. But in more elaborate ways than just that. You got this. But yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah.
I think as you're talking about like pushing your boundaries or pushing your comfort zone, I was having this thought because I saw one of our mutual friends that's an entrepreneur do this. And I was like, oh, this is like a great practice. I wonder if we should do this. Or I was like, maybe I should work on this. But like taking a public speaking class, like just like knowing how to formulate your thoughts in a very concise way and be comfortable with the crowd. You know, I was like, I think all of the three of us get a little nervous. So how can we, you know?
Yeah, that's a great one too.
All right. I think we have our last individual questions to go through. So Miss Mel Mel.
You said in the past that you always see yourself as the best friend and never the main character. Has that changed? This ebbs and flows for me. I don't think it completely changes. Like, I don't think I'm one or the other ever in my life. Does that make any sense? Because I flip-flop a lot, actually. There's periods where I feel like, I feel like I'm killing it. I feel like main character vibes. Yeah. But there's also times where I feel like I'm in my quiet period, building or like something. That's when I'm like side character vibes or best friend. I don't know. I think it's how I see the questions. Kind of like when I think of main character, I think that you're always thriving. You are killing it in every aspect. You are like you're on this roll, right? That's how I see main character. But I think sometimes you're not. And that it's hard to be always on in that main character vibe. So I think for me, I see the side character or best friend as like you are working towards being on that train again. It's kind of like with work. Sometimes you feel like you're like killing it at work and you're like, I'm doing so well. And other times you're like building that to get to that like promotion or to that like project launch or something or this or something. So that's how I perceive this question. I might be wrong. Is that how you guys wanted to write it or?
I forget who wrote this question.
I wrote it.
Okay, yeah.
I like that way of interpreting it. I was thinking more of like in any given situation, you can also say it's like a protagonist. Like, do you see yourself as someone who is of equal value to the total piece of work or to the world or whatever? Like if life was a movie or a TV show, do you used to say like, oh, I'm not like a main character. I would be like the person's best friend, right? But it's like in whatever world you are in or whatever thing that you're doing, have you started seeing yourself more as the main person instead of like the side?
Yeah. Well, I think so. Helen has said this before, and I do think this is true. Like you're kind of, what is that word? You're a protagonist in your own
main character.
You're like,
protagonist, in your own world. Yeah.
I kind of think that's true. Like, because you're seeing everything through your own lens, so it's your perspective. Not saying it's your perspective is always right, but you kind of see it that way. There are times where I feel like sometimes in my relationship, I feel like I'm too main character or too protagonist, because I think there are things when Ray and I would talk and we're like going through like working out a communication thing. He's like, Mel, I feel like sometimes you need to see my side. And I'm just like, oh, that's when moments I'm like, oh, I am playing too much into main character and not.
That's a good way to interpret that.
Yeah. And not trying to like see his side of it, his character side of it. So I think it really, it depends on the situation. So I guess to maybe go back to your original one, I think overall, I guess in my life, maybe I do feel like I'm main character.
Yeah. Or more so now than before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm glad.
Thanks.
Me too.
And I like the way that you interpret that question too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. That was your last question.
Yay.
You're done. Okay, now put it on your head. Okay. Are there certain friends you wouldn't trust to watch your baby? Damn. I can't answer this.
Yeah, you good.
I will say I'm pretty protective of who watches my baby. It depends also. Is this like overnight? Is this like an hour thing? Is this like a 20-minute thing? Is it like I just have to go to the bathroom? Can you just watch him? I will say for each of those scenarios, there is probably, for friends, for like a bathroom break, I would trust all of my friends.
I can see that.
To watch. If it's for an hour, I would trust maybe half of my friends to watch. Yeah.
That's a big drop off from an hour. Yeah.
It is. Because an hour is a lot.
It is.
It's actually like you think that watching a baby for an hour is easy. It's not. It's tiring. It's exhausting. And you have to be like, your eyes are on him like at all times, right? Depending on the environment and if there's like safe play zones or whatever. But if it's overnight, then yeah, maybe it's like 5. Like not 5, but like maybe like 10% of the rest. So it's like it drops from like everyone to 50 to like 10%, maybe less than 10. But I don't know. And I think it's because we haven't really explored that world of really asking friends to watch our baby either. So that's probably a little bit on us. But I think I'm just overprotective maybe. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give names.
And I'm like literally, in my head, I'm going through names.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. My last question. You've mentioned on this podcast the added layer of getting into a relationship with someone who was in love with their dog, thus requiring you to become an unofficial dog mom. Did you really love being a dog mom? Oh, this is a good question. Did I really love being a dog mom? So I'm going to say I did, but probably not as it didn't come. It's definitely not natural. And it was not the way that like, I know of friends who like love dog. Like my sister is like just the way she just naturally always from a young age with animals, babies, all that kind of stuff. She just has that like maternal. It's not natural for me. I did love it, but yeah, I just didn't feel natural, I guess. Yeah. Not as natural.
The face said it all.
As long as it's natural. And I don't want to feel like I'm a bad person. But yeah, I mean, I would, okay, here's what I will say. And my family has said this too. My sister was like, you grew a lot as a dog person.
Yeah.
Just like, because I knew you and you're very just like, it's not, I'm not like hateful against animals to any degree, right?
Yeah, you're really sweet with them.
I usually am just pretty ambivalent. Like they're there. It's like I treat them like it's like another, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, so cute and snuggly. Yeah. But now I find myself like I'm very aware when there is like a dog present. I will be like, oh, so cute, or like so my awareness of it has definitely picked up. But I think I'm still very far from being someone who's like, oh my God, I like love dogs. And does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was really nice. Like I think being like a caretaker for that was nice.
Okay, I think we are done with our questions.
No more.
Thanks everyone for tuning into this episode, getting to know us more. I actually kind of enjoyed this format.
Yeah.
Asking each other.
Yeah. It's kind of fun and we kind of get like juicier.
Well, I think it's because the three of us know each other really well. And obviously
That's true. So we asked
because
very
in the past we've like
specific questions.
our listeners have submitted really great questions, but we never really asked each other our like questions for each of us. So it was a fun way to explore our own brains, I guess.
Yeah.
And curiosity.
So if you want to see more episodes like this, let us know in the comments of our latest Instagram post. And with that, we will catch you all on the next episode.
Bye.